network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transformed by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals.
Hey, welcome everyone. Um, Thank you for joining us in the November edition of our Transform by iCentral webinar series. We are so excited to have you join us today. My name is Esther Atitebi. I lead the learning unit at iCentral Solutions, and I'm going to be your host today. So just feel free to drop a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from. I know we have people joining us from all over the world. So feel free to drop a comment so that we can appreciate you and just thank you for joining us today. And I would also like to appreciate those that have been following us on the Transform webinar series. So for our edition today, we're going to be looking at AI and sustainability in project management. Okay, welcome. I have someone joining us from Ghana. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to drop a comment and welcome. Okay, so this webinar is organized by iCentral, and I'm going to talk about iCentral and what we do as we go into the webinar. And I want to welcome everybody once again. So today we are going to explore a very exciting topic, which is, okay, I see people joining us. Thank you for joining us. I see someone joining us from the UK. You're welcome. Please keep it coming. Just drop it in the comment section and we will attend to you shortly. So my name is Esther Atitebi once again. I lead the learning unit at iCentral and I will be your host for today's discussion. So we are going to look at a very exciting topic, which is AI and sustainability in project management. Now, by the end of this webinar, we hope that all the attendees will have a deep understanding of the role of AI and sustainability in project management, how they are changing the way we approach projects. We will also look at how AI and sustainability are shaping how we manage projects. We'll look at some of the challenges that project professionals face in integrating AI and leveraging it, and also sustainability within the industry. So we are going to address all of that in the webinar for today. So I'd like to introduce our esteemed speakers, but before that, I can still see we have people joining in. Thank you so much. We have people joining from Nigeria, from Canada. Thank you so much for joining. You are welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. So I would like to introduce our esteemed speakers for today. Our first speaker is Mr. Olubenga Adesanwo. He is a seasoned leader in implementing large-scale projects, infrastructure projects that blend technology innovation and sustainable practices. Olubenga has over 20 years of experience in project management within the oil and gas industry. He's currently the Deputy Manager of Sustainability at the Nigeria Gas Infrastructure Company and also the project lead of the Ajakuta Kaduna Kano Gas Pipeline Project, Segment 1. Mr. Olubenga brings a unique perspective to AI's evolving role in enhancing project efficiency, risk management, sustainability outcomes as well. As a member of several global institutions such as COREN, Nigerian Society of Engineers, and Project Management Institute, Olubenga's commitment to integrating AI and sustainable practice is part of his broader mission to support Nigerians' energy needs and economic growth. Also, he is passionate about mentoring the next generation of project managers, equipping them with the skills to navigate an AI-augmented industry. Mr. Olubenga Adesanwo, thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to unmute your mic, put on your camera, and say hello.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know whether my camera is visible. I'm actually not to this event, but and welcome to the event.
All right, thank you so much for joining. You're welcome. So I'm going to introduce our second speaker. Our second speaker is Mr. Taufik Babayaju. Mr. Taufik is an author, he's a visionary leader, and a transformation expert with over 24 years of experience and expertise in strategy, project, program and portfolio management, PMO delivery, technology solution, information security, risk management, business agility, establishing himself as a leader in organizational and digital transformation. Mr. Taufik is passionate about developing people and transforming organization. As a testament to his global impact, in 2010, Taufik was awarded the PMI Most Outstanding Contribution to Project Management in Nigeria, and recently has also made history as the first African to be named the PMI Person of the Year. Mr. Taufik, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Kindly unmute your camera, unmute your mic, put on your camera and say hello.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. Great to be here.
Okay, you're welcome. So our final speaker is Mr. Temisan Stage. Temisan is a seasoned technical program manager with 17 years of experience. He currently serves as the senior technical project manager at ALO in Canada. He holds an MBA, PMP, and multiple certifications. Temisan is also the director of mentorship for the PMI at Tower Valley Chapter Canada, and as an advocate of the adoption and application of artificial intelligence in project management. Temisan has contributed to various groundbreaking publications, including Artificial Intelligence and Project Management, which was a chapter-led project, Artificial Intelligence and Project Management, Empirical View, State of the Art, and Guidelines for Future Research, and also a couple of other groundbreaking publications. Mr. Temisan, thank you so much for joining us. You're welcome. Kindly put on your mic and say hello.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
All right. Thank you so much. You're welcome. All right. Thank you. So should you have any questions for our speakers, please feel free to drop it in the comment section, and we are going to attend to that shortly. So now let's dive right into our conversation. So it is no news that AI and sustainability are two mega trends that are shaping the future of how we plan, manage, and also deliver projects. So I'm going to start my first question to Mr. Temisan Sage. Currently, how is AI transforming project management practices and also the role of project managers? Would you like to just talk to us about that for your opening remark? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, to the part A of your question, how's AI transforming project management practices? I'd say presently that's already occurring in all the facets of project management across the life cycle of project management, regardless of whatever methodology choose to adopt. But just for the purpose of our chats today, I'll just pick a few. So the first will be in risk management. Now, a beautiful thing about artificial intelligence is its adoption of algorithms to analyze historical project data to identify potential risks and also predict outcomes. So what this does for the project managers is it empowers the project managers to be able to take proactive measures to better mitigate risks, right, and more effectively. And secondly, I'll touch on procurement management. In terms of what it looks, it helps determine I'd say the evaluations. It kind of takes your past history and then it does evaluations on what school, for example, talk about sustainability, the inclusion of sustainability criteria, and it helps validate the transparency across the entire supply chain in terms of any gaps or in terms of any blockers. That also helps free up time and space for the project manager as well. Then we talk about automating otherwise routine tasks, like for example, the data entry, scheduling, your reminders, your reports generation, right? So automating these tasks is one of the beautiful things about artificial intelligence. And what it does for the project manager is it helps minimize human error, therefore minimizing risk and also freeing up time that could be used for more critical tasks. Then we'll talk about, I'll just touch on one more, which is I'd say personalized recommendations. So based on historical projects aligned with the company's strategy, artificial intelligence could work with the CISOs, the project managers, the portfolio managers, and the program managers to offer personalized recommendations regarding the projects, regarding the programs, regarding the portfolio, based on historical project data and industry best practices, making these organizations more competitive in terms of business agility. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your response. Just taking notes from that is AI just helps to make work faster and also easier. So thank you for that feedback. Now I'll throw the next question to Mr. Adesonwo. So we've been talking about sustainability, but what does sustainability really mean in the context of project management, and why is it becoming increasingly important?
Okay, thank you very much, Esther, and welcome everybody again. I think I had a bit of a network glitch at the point in time. I'm glad I'm back now. So sustainability is becoming a global phenomenon. Basically, something we've been generally playing with for a while, but now it's beginning to stare at us right in the face, right? So basically, it's meeting the needs of present without compromising the ability of the future generations, right, to meet their own needs. So in the context of project management, we must begin to understand how to gradually infuse sustainability in all of our doings today, such that projects in the future will still be able to generally progress in the context of climate change and then in the context of environmental considerations as well as economic considerations as well. So that it's a collective balance that we all must adopt today such that the future generations will be able to also live in this world we call Mother Earth. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for providing that insight. I think if there was one thing I said is meeting the needs of the present without compromising that of the future. Thank you so much for providing more context to that. All right. So now to Mr. Babayaju, what role do you think sustainability plays in project management, and how can AI help to support the sustainability practices?
Thank you very much, Esther. And I also want to thank my colleagues that have laid a very good foundation about the role of AI. Beautiful submission from Temisen and Olugbenga Adeson. Thank you very much for those wonderful backgrounds. As you know, the world's resources are deployed as projects or programs, whether at corporate level or at government level. Everybody deliver one form of project or initiatives. And the SDG over time has advocated for sustainability, ESG, in what we do, whether at corporate level or at national level. However, it's becoming very inevitable that we need to start looking at defining project success along the lines of sustainability. And that means looking at people, planet, and profits. People means, are we socially responsible? Planet means is your project environmental friendly, and profit means is it economically viable, so that projects, like I usually say, are not delivered in isolation. it's connected to something. It's either connected to national strategy or organizational strategy. However, how does AI help us in this conversation? The world, our world has been disrupted by AI. Okay, and there is no way out, whether you like it or not. You need to adopt AI. However, AI is helping us to support sustainability practice in terms of precision in data, precision in resource prioritization, optimization, prioritization, and also maybe along scenario planning and effective monitoring and evaluation of projects, whether sustainability projects or not. So these two phenomena are taking the world by storm, and it's either you're on the table or you're about to be had for lunch. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your comments. What I held on to is we need to start thinking about people, planet, and profits as we plan our project. So thank you so much for that feedback. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment section, and then we're going to attend to that shortly. All right, so now that we have taken the opening statement, we are now going to go deep dive into more conversations. So now we understand AI and its role in project management. We also understand sustainability and how the two are connected to project management. But then there might also be challenges. So this question is for Olubenga. What are some of the key challenges that organizations face when they are integrating sustainability goals into their project? Hello, Mr. Olubenga, are you there?
Yeah, my apologies. So thanks for the question. Challenges usually come with changes because folks need to adapt to these changes to be able to work and move effectively, right? So what are some of the key challenges organizations face in integrating sustainability goals into their project? The very first one, I must say, has to do with the financial constraints, right? And I try and keep things a bit simple as much as I can so that the audience maybe can also follow along should they not be versed or deep in some of this. So sustainability, like I said, is a new phenomenon, and and then it requires companies, organizations, countries, and the global world to generally change the way they perceive their activities of today, largely along the environment, along social and governance issues. And as such, it requires that folks need to start looking at their budget differently. They need to start looking at providing additional funding. You understand? So that becomes an immediate resistance and a challenge to integrating sustainability into projects. So, like Taufik said, projects are initiatives, right, that have a start and an end date. So folks are more focused on the revenue side of their projects and on the key objective of that project. Sustainability and AI are things that, if you look at it on a global scale, will inherently improve your total cost of ownership. But in the immediate, it could financial constraints could be a barrier to it. I already mentioned that the resistance to change. That's another major challenge, right? So folks are set in their ways. They're usually comfortable in what it is they're doing. So, for example, somebody has been getting grid power, but by the time you go into the sustainability space, you now trace all of your scope 1, scope 2 emissions and see the contributions they are giving to the environment. And then you want to now migrate that. So think not from the household, which might be a bit relatively maybe cheap, but if you go to the commercial and industrial scale, you're talking about several millions of dollars, right? That you need to expend in integrating sustainability, and sometimes even AI into your projects. Timisa mentioned very, very wonderfully how the impact of AI and how it can revolutionize the way we do things, if the way we do things, and transform in a speedy way the way we execute. But however, you would note clearly that even AI comes with its knowledge gap challenges for which people need to deepen, people need to understand. So at what point did they start focusing their energies on that aspect of understanding and growing that knowledge for them to be able to either slow down or integrate that into their business? Supply chain complexities are also beginning to rear its head in the sustainability space. And what do I mean by that? Global companies and what we call the folks that are providing the funding for sustainable initiatives, they are beginning to get a little bit more organized. Their supply chain networks and systems are beginning to get into the space where they are cutting off those who are not increasing sustainability practices in their businesses. It will get to a point where due diligences are carried out such that if you are not qualified within that due diligence practice, you will not be able to access those supply chain networks. There's several more challenges that we can identify, but I think for the purpose of a more robust conversation, I will leave it here for now, and then we'll take it along. Esther.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for that response. Very extensive. One of the key things I highlighted is integrating sustainability, and AI is expensive. And so we need to think about the financial commitment and ensure that budget adjustment are done in planning. And one of the challenges you also mentioned is resistance to change. So thank you so much for highlighting those. So I think I'll also like to get comment from Mr. Timisan as well, just maybe a little add up to what Olubenga has said. What are some of the challenges that you think organizations will face when integrating sustainable goals into their projects? So Mr. Timisan, you can also add on to that.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Well, first, I'd like to thank Mr. Lubenga for that very concise, those concise points. And I don't know if you touched on that directly or indirectly, but for me, the takeaway was the context where organizations want change, but at the same time they don't want to change. And one of the symptoms of that is the lack of, I'd say, education at the leadership level. So what happens is that when the leadership, they are not really, they don't really see the need of doing their due diligence in terms of empowering themselves. What happens is you can't give what you don't have. So that actually trickles down the ranks. Like recently in one of the AI PM research, which Africa as well was prominently featured, what you would see was, even though a lot of the employees really wanted to adopt artificial intelligence in their companies, but on the average, they rated the organizations, I think, a 4/10 in terms of the applicability of artificial intelligence or the empowerment of that. So I think when we look at the organization as a component, we also look at the drivers of the organization at that level. And I think the lack of the will in terms of self-education is also one I wanted to add as well. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that feedback. So leadership commitment is also important to ensure that we are driving the change from top to bottom as well. So thank you so much for that feedback. Okay. So now this question is for Mr. Babaju. Mr. Olubenga and Temisan have touched on some of the challenges specifically related to implementing sustainability. Now, I'd like you to touch on some of the challenges as it relates to implementing AI solutions and how can we overcome them? Mr. Babaju?
Thank you very much, Esther, for that question. Don't know where to start, but I think one thing is common, whether you're implementing AI or implementing or integrating sustainability. Of course, these two are changes that you're trying to bring into any environment. And of course, like my colleagues have said, changes will always come with resistance. So there is need for a lot of change management. Also within our own organization, we've tried to implement a few changes within the organization, and we realize how much we need to do a lot of stakeholder engagement to get the buy-in. So leadership commitment, stakeholder buy-in. There are issues that needs to be looked at. When it comes to AI, there's a lot of skill gaps. When it comes to AI, so everybody is just struggling. We're on a fast-moving vehicle. Let me not even say vehicle; it's a train or a plane, and everybody's just trying to get a hang of AI because the rate at which AI is evolving is scary. And so trying to integrate it into your own organization, there is skill gap. So a lot of upskilling has to be done. There's a lot of ethical issues and concerns about AI. So we need to address these as well. Then also there is high cost of implementation. So this also needs to be put into consideration. And lastly, I think I've spoken about change management. Then maybe data quality. You cannot put something on nothing. So if you're trying, AI feeds on data. So what's the quality of the data that we're trying to feed, the algorithm with? So when all of these are in place, you realize that most of the algorithm out there, for example, people in Africa, those algorithms are not, along the African line. So we've had samples from the Caucasians and the rest of them. So we need to get data, real data, which people in Africa struggle with, to ensure that the AI has quality data from Africa that it can feed to make right decisions. So those are the challenges and a few ways to mitigate those challenges. Thank you, Esther.
All right, thank you so much for your feedback. Some of the points I captured is leadership commitment is key, stakeholder buy-in is important, and then we also have the skill gap which needs to be covered, and of course the cost of implementation, which I think Mr. Adesanwo also mentioned. So thank you for your comments. Okay, so moving forward, and this question is to Mr. Adesanwo. So how can organizations now prepare their project team to embrace both AI and sustainability as a core part of their project strategy, since we have agreed that AI and sustainability are key and they are shaping how we plan and deliver projects? So how can organizations then prepare their project team to embrace both AI and sustainability for project success? Mr. Adesanwo?
Yeah, thank you very much, Esther. I think, in fact, in just your summary, you have already brought out some of the key considerations here. Preparing is synonymous to, when you're getting into an initiative. So the very first thing would be to build the awareness and knowledge. We talked about that extensively between Timmy-san and Tafik. You must accept that these changes that we're talking about, they are real. You must accept that these changes, like Tafik said, they're already a moving train. So in resistance to it, which is normal with change, will come at an immense consequence to your business, to your organization, or I would dare say even to your country, should you be resisting it. As risk managers and project managers, we must be able to engage in the issues that are confronting us and ensure that we prepare ourselves to, in the simple term, to ensure that we're sustainable, or that there is survivability of our business, of our projects or our initiative. So building awareness is extremely critical. I tie that 100% to what Traffic said on leadership. This will sit at the leadership of the business of the organization or these initiatives to ensure that their people are properly trained, to ensure that their people are plugged in, to ensure that even their organizational structure is updated, to ensure that AI is infused and sustainability is also infused. I will give a classical example of the NNPC Limited. As of today, as part of our core organizational reforms, sustainability has been entrenched at the very, very highest level of its business and in everything that we do. So you will now see that cascading down to the entire business. Last year, there was nothing like manager sustainability in the business. But today, sustainability now has roles, responsibilities across the entire business. So it becomes part of exactly what it is that we do. There must be collaboration, right? These are uniquely and distinctly um, almost variant concepts, but you can see by the virtue of what iCentra is doing, it's recognizing that these two key structures of their own must be infused for projects and initiatives to be able to even drive forward. So there must be collaboration between the AI experts and then the sustainability enthusiasts, like I usually like to call them. So that collaboration must come through and to ensure that you now integrate that into your business and then allow that to grow. You must also want to invest in tools and technology, right? These are critical. Of course, tools, technology also comes, like I always say, with money. But for you to be able to do this and integrate it into your business, you must invest in all of those tools. So, for example, there is what you call a life cycle analysis tool, right? The life cycle analysis tool basically is a sustainability tool. It allows you from the start, project initiation, to ensure that you are in a detailed analysis framework, evaluate all of the input and output components that you will require in your business to ensure that sustainability is unchanged, right? So on the AI side of things, I'm sure Temisa will highlight this a little bit more. Tools, in fact, Chat GPT, for example, there's several tools, Microsoft is bringing up AI tools. Now, how do you integrate these tools, right? How do you integrate it into your business and project management processes? So, for example, schedule development. Currently, we have Primavera, we have Microsoft projects. Now, with the AI tools coming in, we have more intelligent tools that will be able to predict your entire schedule. We will be able to creatively see when you're not working. Can even send you an email as a project manager to tell you clearly that you're going to miss your target at this particular point. So our teams definitely would need to be able to now understand these tools more, move their adaptive nature on the AI scale with these tools to be able to drive project management forward. But I'll leave it at that. There are quite a number of other things that we can do here. I'm sure the other colleagues that you have one or two to say. Esther, back to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the detailed feedback. One of the things I think we have reiterated so far is the importance of management buy-in, creating awareness from top and then drilling it down to bottom. And I think we also should commend NNPC for the excellent work that they are doing in the integration, moving quickly. That is commendable. So now I will also want Timisan to just add on, if you have more to add on to the question Mr. Olubenga just addressed. Do you still have other ways that you feel that organization can prepare their team to embrace both AI and sustainability to ensure the success of projects? You can add on to that and then I'll ask your question. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I'd say Mr. Lutbenga is already an AI expert as well because he kind of took all the thoughts right out of my mind, right? So kudos to that. I think the only thing I'll just add, just because you called me up, I had to think fast. I think I'd add that integrating these ideas early enough at the project management stages, it helps with buying, as Taufik had mentioned earlier about stakeholder management, right? It helps with buying and addressing any concerns you have early enough during the planning stages. So all doubts or concerns about integration could be addressed early on, right? So that's just all I'm going to add. Otherwise, I think everything was already well detailed by Lubenga.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. So now to Mr. your question, how can project managers then effectively balance, of course, the traditional objectives? So we're looking at things like scope and, and time. And now that we have to infuse sustainability goals as well from the planning stage. So how can we effectively ensure that there is that balance for project success?
Sure. Thank you. I think this is a great question. And there's a notion that I think a couple of project managers struggle with, which is a fair understanding of the concept of sustainability, which is by sustainability, a lot of times by default, it just goes straight to like the climate and the environment, maybe. And sometimes questions are asked like, how does this concept relate to myself as an IT project manager or a project manager in the health space? So I just really wanted to come from that angle to really explain further that when we talk about sustainability, as everyone else might have been getting a sense of, we're talking about also not just the external environment, but also the internal environment, how to sustain like the fundamental human rights in the workplace, how to sustainably mitigate or even erase the discrimination of vulnerable groups in the workplace. Also, we talk about labor practices. How can we sustainably enable the optimized health and safety and also trust and safety related practices in the workplace? Then, of course, there's the environment. Then we also talk about fair operating practices in terms of ethics and anti-corruption. Then there are consumer issues where you could see on the news occasionally about issues about unfair contractual practices. And then, of course, we'll talk about the community involvement and engagement, right? So in terms of employee training, skills development, and the likes. So for me, in terms of bringing this overarching concept of sustainability, how can project managers effectively balance the project objectives, borrowing examples like cost and time, with sustainability goals? So I already talked on it just now, which is first of all by making trade-offs early on in the project life cycle to address any concerns, and this also helps with less effort with change management down the cycle of the project. The second specific examples I'll give will be now we see there's more push for more sustainability driven elements to be even in our project charters and our program charters. So for example, if you're working on a high risk project, for example, the criteria for protection criteria needs to be there in terms of the high level practices for health and safety or trust and safety, right? It needs to be detailed at the project charter. There's really a push for that as well. And kudos to those pushing sustainability into the face of project management. Another example would be because of the concerns about our data, right? That's now the need for more I'd say regulatory audits, right? And based off all of these regulatory audits at a high level, we want to ensure beforehand which data comply results
From
of
my end, okay, all right then.
vulnerabilities and use those to provide solutions at the early parts of the stages to address those. So yes, those are for the sake of time, those are the two examples I could pick up.
Okay, thank you so much for that feedback. I think we have a question in the comment, a couple of questions. So I'll just take this and then we'll go into a couple of questions in the comment. So this question is for Mr. Babayaju. So now that we have spoken in detail about AI and sustainability and integration, so what are some of the potential risks or downsides to adopting AI in project management, and how can we mitigate that? So I'd like Mr. Taufik to speak on that, and then I'll also like Olubenga to just second on that or more comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. What are the risks and downsides for everything? Every innovation, there's always a risk. Not even innovation, anything in the world. So are there risks that we run for even being here today? So there are risks to every decision that we take, whether it is positive or negative risk. But let's look at the negative risk and the downside of AI. Application in PM. There is the risk of dependency. We might be, it's possible that we start depending too much on AI and forget that project success is a function of people, right? People is about people, and people. So then also, AI cannot be fair, sorry, sometimes it's not accurate, okay? So for young project managers that have not written charters before, and they just, I have this project, they go on ChatGPT, write the charter for me, come into their organization. So this, you need skills to AI is just supposed to help you build the foundation, just like what your executive assistants will do for you to lay to do the the back work. So when you depend too much without the human judgment on AI, forgetting that whatever AI knows or is developing is a function of the data that is available to it. Okay, I mentioned earlier on about the bias in the algorithm, because most of the data or the data that are being used, the data sets that are being used in developing the algorithm are not from this part of the world. So right now, I flip it in between North America and Nigeria, and I know what I struggle with when I'm in when I'm in Africa. So the data that the AI machine is built on is not Afrocentric or Afrocentric, right? So you might be asking something about data of projects in Africa, and what you're getting is from North America, Europe, and the rest of them. So that data inaccuracy or prediction also is a factor. We'll also look at somebody mentioned in the comment box earlier on about data security and privacy. So we also need to start looking at privacy of data while trying to integrate AI or application of AI in project management. So at the end of the day, like I said, projects are delivered by people for people, and at the end of the day, for the benefit of the people. So we still need the human judgment to prevail over AI predictions or AI's, to be sure that we don't over depend on AI. So it's all about people, all right? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Steph, for that feedback. So the things I took out just before we get more comments from Olubenga is people is the core, is core to projects. Also that AI is supposed to be a support, and therefore there is a risk of over dependency. All right, thank you. So there's the risk of overly being dependent, and then people don't get to learn. You also mentioned the bias in the algorithm and also data security. Olubenga, do you want to add on to that as well?
Okay, thank you. I'll double down on the over dependence, right? Because I think that's really where the focus is, right? And you got it right, Esther. It's supposed to be it's a decision support tool, right? It's not a decision maker. You understand? So at the leadership level, they must understand that these are tools that are out there. Their teams and their project teams would typically try to adopt this. So with for their for trying to ensure that you avoid, you know, data in, data out, you must ensure that, and to ensure that your stakeholders are properly, you align to their objectives, you must make sure that there must be human validation as part of your processes. So these are some of the things that we must ensure that we do. So human validation must be there for critical project decisions, right? So we must also train our teams as much as possible to understand the limitations of AI and then maintain accountability. These are very, very, very critical. Taufik Babaji mentioned something around data quality and integrity issues. So these are some of the risks, you understand, of AI. So we must, as much as possible as a mitigation, ensure that we regularly audit, clean our data. We must have proper data governance structures in place. Otherwise, we will risk the potential, like Taufik said, some of these AI tools are not Afrocentric. That's really, really critical. So it's going to be doing you garbage in, garbage out, and you'll be shocked that you're trying to apply Scandinavian thinking to an African problem. And I can tell you, you'll be really, really, really shocked. Let me give you a bit of a maybe like live project example. So on the in fact, it was very, very interesting. On the AKK project, for example, we had one of the segments that brought in Chinese support, right? And one of the I'm going to wonder how an AI tool is going to be able to walk you through that. So just integration, language barrier, how to break that, how to infuse yourself as the Chinese contractors into our local environment, the language barriers, just even food barrier. You understand what I'm saying? This one can eat this, it cannot eat that. It took almost about 6 months to have full and proper integration between that different economies trying to work and build a project here in Nigeria. And several other examples. I can take the example of even security. Not understanding that security becomes a very, very critical success factor on your project can actually slow you down in excess of months on your project. So these are some of the things that human beings, like Tafik said, people, human beings must be involved. They understand the local environment. They understand the way the people think. They understand what the people eat. I remember a time when the Chinese folks were trying to feed the Nigerians with just Chinese food. They didn't see a bar on the menu. They didn't see amala on the menu, and it became a major problem. I'm telling you, they almost shut down the entire camp on account of that. So these are just some of those little elements of human feel that we must ensure we add to it. I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We are getting lots of nuggets to take home. So one of the things I highlighted is AI is a decision support and not a decision maker. That is key. And also human validation and human involvement is very important. Thank you so much. So we'll just take some comments, some questions in the comment section. So the first one says, and this is from Ayodele. It says, given that the use of AI is set to generate lots of energy, thereby contributing to global warming and creating a sustainability challenge, how can we manage this in project management? I'll take it again. Given that the use of AI is set to generate lots of energy, thereby contributing to global warming and creating a sustainability challenge. How can we manage this in project management? Temi-san, do you want to take up that? And then I think I also want to hear from Olubenga, and then we can move on to another question. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a great question, well thought out and very insightful. So kudos to who raised that question. Right off the bat, I went to the data side of things because with artificial intelligence, right, working using the large language modeling, learning from the data, right, being imputed. What that implies is that you would imagine the magnanimity of the storehouses to really store this much data. So to bring more context, let's break it down to even our organizations, the way we store data, right? Because artificial intelligence, it's not just only like worldwide, we use that like locally within organizations. So we see that would have like your data centers in companies. What has happened now is imagine all those data centers spread across the world, right? You can imagine how much generation of energy that does. So one of the advantages of moving to the cloud is that it kind of centralizes all of this. So what happens is now your data is migrated from your organization to the cloud. So that means your region, your area, the carbon presence is a lot lower. Now, the next challenge being faced by the major cloud providers like AWS and the likes is now they have their major the cloud, the availability zones and the likes. Now they've realized that the cost of power generation, how it affects the climate. So I was reading an article like last month on you switching to sustainable energies to really maintain their large data centers around the availability zones. So it's a situation that has already been acknowledged, and on the smaller scale, it's been addressed by transferring those risks to the cloud at the I'll say the regional level, and leaving the major players that have the funds to really combat this, to address this at a more large scale and central level. So that would be the angle I'd address it from. Happy to learn what my colleagues have to say as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Please.
All right, thanks, Esther. Temisa, great feedback. I'll just take it from the angle of sustainability, right? So the question really borders on the energy mix, which is a conversation that is beginning to evolve. So the shape of the energy mix over the past decade, and what we're beginning to see moving into this last half of this particular decade is beginning to shift, right? So the concentration on fossil fuels is beginning to, I would say, not subside, but I would say almost stabilize in comparison to all those other renewable energy mixes that are coming into play. So the big hundreds, so the Fortune 500s, they're the guys with the big bucks, right? The Microsoft, the Teslas, and the Walmarts are beginning to, and the Amazon, right? These guys are spending top dollars. I'm not going to mention the Chinese, but I can tell you that they are also on the very, very top percentile in terms of big spend as it relates to switching their energy mix into more renewable energy alternatives. There are massive investments going on in the wind energy with GE. I think superintending over one of the biggest inventions in that direction, wherein the total amount of carbon footprints that you're having on those wind energy alternatives are becoming extremely low. Solar, of course, will be one of the biggest players in this. So all of these folks are beginning to invest heavily in terms of the material content across all of this energy mix with a view to having a sustainability mindset and ensuring that the overall carbon footprint recognizes our desire to stay within 1.5 degrees C mark. But I will tell you that it's still a long way out. There is still that resistance to penetration. There is still that financial constraints, particularly within the African region and some of the Middle East and Asian countries, where entry into this particular spaces is a lot difficult, right? Nigeria, I must tell you, interestingly, is deepening massively on the sustainability space. You'll be amazed that there is a presidential committee that is being set up, and an act in 2022 that enacted the NCCC, who is superintending over climate change, as it were. So I'm sorry to use this slang, but they say Nigeria, they carry last. So somehow, within the context of our financial constraints, we're still pushing forward. We're still deepening on sustainability efforts to ensure that the energy mix is balanced enough, and we're following through on the trajectory of AI and sustainability. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Ayodele, I hope you're okay with those responses. They were quite detailed. Thank you. So I'll pick another question in the comments, and I'd like Taufik to address that. It says, how can we address the issue of data security? I know you had touched on that, so maybe you can just add on to it. How can we address the issue of data security, which is an important concern for me, when it comes to using AI while integrating it into project management? Kindly unmute. You are muted. Thank you.
Apologies. Thank you very much for that question. Of course, the world is big on data right now, and so there is a lot of emphasis on data security and privacy. So we have GDPR, and recently in Nigeria also we have NDPR. So there's a lot of agencies that are already geared up towards ensuring that there is data privacy and and security. So for AI, because most of the AI is open source, and data can be gotten from any part and put in there. So there's still the world is still grappling with AI, and trying to see how we can have some decency around data in the AI space, because it's still much of a concern for data out there, because anybody can, like my friend said, this data in garbage in, garbage out, like we do in computer. So a lot of data coming, we need to have a framework. And if my memory serves me right, I think the world is moving very fast on AI governance, and Nigeria is also not left behind. I'm sure I saw in news recently when the minister inaugurated a committee on AI. So we're still grappling with a lot of what will be in terms of security and privacy in the data space, sorry, in the AI space. But like I said, it's an ongoing conversation. We have agencies that are already in place to look at data privacy and security. But at the AI level, are we able to implement privacy and security? It's a conversation that is ongoing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. We still have a couple of questions in the comments, and if you want to put up your camera and actually ask a question, you can just raise your hands, and then I will call you up to ask your question. So before we continue in the Q&A, I would like to ask, and I think I would like to hear from all the speakers, starting from Timisan, Olubenga, and then Taufik. How do you see the role of AI and sustainability evolving in project management, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years? So that is one part of it. And then what are now the new skills that are required for project managers to thrive in an AI-driven sustainability landscape? So the first part of the question, how do we see the role of AI and sustainability evolving over the next 5 to 10 years? And then how do we now, the project professionals, what are the skills that we need to gain to ensure that we thrive? So I would like to hear from Temisan, Olubenga, and then Taufik.
Sure, thank you. So I'd say first, where do I see the roles of AI and sustainability evolving in project management over the next 5 to 10 years? I'd say, how do I see it? I see these roles evolving more prominently. I'll look at it let's look at it first from the tools process. So in terms of the new AI tools or applications or integration practices with the older tools as well, coming forth, I'd see those being very core requirements in terms of I'd say the release of such applications. This really wasn't the case, right? And even when we talk about artificial intelligence just being the buzz, it's really about the what and the how is still lacking. Just paraphrasing Taufik's points, right? So I think in the next 5 to 10 years, it's still, I think it's still, there will be major advancements, but still room for more compared to like the next 20, 30 years. But what I see is there's going to be more emphasis from the application stage on artificial intelligence and sustainability. We talk about sustainability in terms of, let's talk about the social scape, when we talked about the lack of evilness in applicability. Like you search out data from Africa and you're getting Scandinavian results, right? All of this will be addressed in terms of the back end, large language modeling, the NLPs and the likes, right? Now, also, I discover an example will be if I use a Hume AI. I don't know if you are familiar with that. It's a voice like ChatGPT kind of its voice. What happens is if I switch to my North American accent, it can detect when I'm stressed. But if I use my Niger accent, it's plain, right? So I see a lot of those subtleties as well, right? A lot of those subtleties coming into the fore in terms of artificial intelligence and sustainability. And why I bring that point is when we look at psychological safety, if these applications could pick my voice when I'm stressed, it could recommend I should take some time off. It could recommend I should see a therapist. It could recommend some stress relieving options for me. But if it cannot pick my Nigerian accent, it can't give me those options. And where we come from, we believe that we just need to just keep working because we are known for that, right? So you could see how down the line it affects us, it affects our kind of sustainability at the workplace, right? So those are the nuances. I think it's more in the nuances in the next 5 to 10 years. These are going to be major considerations how we move forward in the tools or in the processes. Then also in terms of the communications as well, right? I really see it in terms of really opening more conversations between the team at the team level and the leadership level. Now, the leadership level, it used to just really be more about risk mitigation, saving costs, and just deliver like quality. But now what happens is those on hands doing the hands-on tasks that recognize the value of AI and sustainability would really, and the cost of not adopting this, right? We're beginning to see the cost financially and otherwise, right? So for example, you'd see PMOs now, because of craze of AI, we just recommend, oh, let's lay off 80% of our PM workforce. And what happens is that they over-depended on the AI's decisions, realizing that there are a lot of so-called termed useful error, right, for lack of a better phrase. And now you're having to now go back to rehire. So what happens? You're making the workplace unsustainable. So now all these things will be addressed from the core and from the ground up. So those are the avenues I really see that. And in terms of the new skills required for project managers, I'll just briefly touch on two. Number one, I'd say research skills, right? And I'd say by virtue of everyone being here, that means everyone really wants to learn more about our conversations. And even we as the speakers want to learn more from ourselves and from you as well. So I'd say we keep researching any facet of AI that applies to project management or even your life as well, right? I use Kanban to plan my life, for example, in terms of my to-do list and all. But that's because I want to just keep that like in motion. And the second thing I'd say, which even companies are asking, is please try and take the 1 hour or 2 hour courses on prompt engineering, right? The fact that there's ChatGPT there doesn't mean that once you type in a prompt, you're going to get the best result. There's an art also to asking these questions, right? To ChatGPT. Now, there are free prompt courses on YouTube. Google has one. Most major companies have one. Just take an hour out of your day to really just take one of these prompt engineering courses. So so you don't get garbage in, garbage out once you put in prompts. So that will be my answers to both questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, Olubenga, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. And tell me some great feedback. It's one of the reasons why I like events like this, because you're cross-learning at the same time. Learning, I'm a knowledge management person as well, and I believe continuous learning is extremely critical. So let me approach this again, maybe from the sustainability angle. So, so in the next 5 to 10 years, what will be some of the things that you're going to be hearing quite a lot? You're going to be hearing dematerialization. You're going to be hearing circular economy, and within the circular economy space, basically you're focused on. So if you think of circular economy, you take a bit of a back step. And then you think, what economy do we currently operate, right? It's what you call like a straight economy, right? So you're moving from the make, right? The use, and then the dispose. I like to call that the MUD, right? It's the mod approach. So we're in the mod economy. So even the word mod in itself gives you a sense of exactly what it is. We're a bit muddy. We're not considerate, so we're just we're using, and then we're disposing, without any consideration. So now, from that straight line, then think of putting a circle around that, right? So basically, you're not moving into what you call like the circular economy, where reuse is critical, where recycle is critical, where regeneration is extremely critical. And then you're basically extending the life of materials that you basically are extracting from the earth. You understand what I'm saying? You're taking it through an improved and advanced manufacturing processes, of course, using AI. So projects now. So for example, if you just think of the built industry, you're thinking of building a maybe 100-story building. Now the considerations from the project manager, from the critical stakeholders, with the circular economy. Can I still be heard?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, great stuff.
Yes, so, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Exactly. So basically, all of the material that you're going to be using in that particular space, the considerations around them become totally different, right? The manufacturing process, even going all the way back, and the supply chain systems are going to be totally different. So basically, we're moving into that world where things are becoming more circular, and that will be a major consideration going forward. We would have to start to integrate AI as a support, a critical support to sustainability as a key enabler, right, for our future proofing, of our project as a critical consideration going forward. For some of the tools that will be used by project managers going forward, I will dare say things like you said, research and development will be critical. Sustainability expertise will definitely have to come into the mix. Strategic thinking and system design, which is part of the circular economy that I just described, would have to come into it. So if I take you into the energy industry or the oil and gas industry, So, for example, if you're thinking to the future, you realize that some of the fuels for the future, for example, like hydrogen, begins to come into the consideration. The existing infrastructure that we have today cannot support injecting hydrogen into this infrastructure. We're going to have massive problems. So going forward now, building gas pipelines will have to have deep considerations for future proofing, such that when we move into that space where hydrogen become part of our energy or our fuel mix, we will be able to use those new infrastructure that we're building to be able to transmit or transport those particular infrastructure. So strategic thinking, systems design has to be embedded as part of the project managers. You have what you call concept engineering, you have, preliminary engineering. So at the preliminary concept, and I would even dare say the feed stage, it has to be a much more integrated engineering approach that looks into the manufacturing space, is advising what it is that you're trying to build up as a project, and is advising them on how to tweak using both AI, using both project management principles to ensure that they upscale their manufacturing systems to be able to produce for the future, that kind of a thing, based on projects that are currently upcoming. I would say communication has to be critical. Collaboration, global consideration, the concept around the COP29. I think we need to, reduce on the conversations and start moving into the action. In my own organization, we say action, not words, and we even cross out the not words so that you know that it's no more. Please stop all this talk and let's just go into the mode where you are actively doing things and you are actioning. From a project management consideration, agility and adaptability, and I don't think is extremely deep on the agile system for the project management. This has to be infused in the context of AI and sustainability in project management. So help folks understand how much more they need to do. It's not just the agility within the project management space itself, it's more the agility within the larger circular economy that we're going into. So our considerations and our thinking has to be a little bit more futuristic going forward. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for the detailed feedback. I think before we hear from some of the things I captured, especially as it relates to the new skills, have to do with one, research skills, secondly, prompt engineering. And I think that PMI has a free course if you're a PMI member on prompt engineering. We will drop that in the comment section for those that are interested. You can actually take that for free. Some other skills mentioned is communication and collaboration skill, agility and adaptability, strategic thinking, and system designs as well. Mr. Babaiju, do you still want to add on to that? New skills that we need to develop as project professionals?
Well, there's a downside being the last speaker because the first two expert speakers have said almost everything, and you are wondering what else is there to say. But I'll just reinforce what they have said because fantastically well. I think they made the point. My only addition is the fact that AI and sustainability, in the next 5-10 years will revolutionize, knowledge management. AI and sustainability will change, just like my friend Addison said, it will force our design thinking. And also it will increase our agility as PMs down the line. I see more of now a lot of global collaboration going on because of AI. and sustainability. We now understand that, what happens in Kara Namuda would affect somebody sitting in Hong Kong. We now understand that our world is more interconnected than we think. When there is global warming in Morocco, there is risk for people in Spain. Okay, so there's no way out except you want to get out of this planet. Okay, that is for sustainability. And I also think that in the next 5 to 10 years, AI is going to force us to new thinking. Just like when computer was coming in, a lot of people said, "Hey, computer is going to take your work." AI is not going to take your work. Okay, you're going to be replaced by somebody that knows how to better use AI. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, so AI is not threatening your work, but it's either you're on the table, or you're about to be had for lunch. So that's the whole point. So we're going to see a lot of AI powered decision making, decision being made, just like my friend said. AI is not a decision maker, but it helps to power your decision. Is your project support, is your project secretary, is your project researcher, and it gives you that leeway, to make the right decision. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours to make. The world is rapidly moving towards asking the question how sustainable it is, because I said earlier on, we need to start defining project success in the quadrant of people, planet, and profits. So we're not just thinking about project success in isolation, all right, or looking at project success from the economic point of view. So a lot of questions will now be asked. How sustainable is your project? What carbon footprint is your project leaving behind? How socially responsible is your project? So it's going to force our thinking, both from the sustainability point of view and artificial intelligence point of view, because most people now, or most organizations, will now be looking for precision, because you don't have any excuse anymore. Okay, there's no place for mediocrity anymore, because whatever you're bringing to me, I can easily check it out. And we say something by Esther Lulu, I want to check Esther Lulu right there, right now. I'm not Googling Esther Lulu. I'm just asking AI to tell me about Esther Lulu and give me everything that I need to know about Esther Lulu. So there is need for precision. So as the world is going AI driven, human beings need to now learn superior skills. So AI on the other side, people will think will make people lazy, but I have access to the same information you have access to. So how are you able to analyze it? What decision are you able to take with it? How smarter are you? Because we have the same, we have the same 24 hours, and we have the same bank of, information. It used to be, how many books do you have more than I do, or you've read more than I do? But I can download all the books that you've read, in 10 years, in one week, using AI, getting a summary of your books. But how faster are we able to make decisions using this information? And that is, the more AI becomes more intelligent, the more human beings needs to become more superior. So it's a race against man and machine. Thank you.
All right. Very interesting conversations. Thank you so much to all our speakers for that detailed feedback. So there was a question. Can we please have some recommendations for some of the most effective AI tools? And thank you so much, Pelumi, for helping with some responses: ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, BrainStory.ai. So I mean, Pelumi has helped to address that question as well, so we won't have to take it. So thank you again. Once again, we still have a couple of questions in the comment section. I think I saw Shitu Musa. Your hands were up. I don't know if you are still here. If you are and you would like to ask a question, if you are and you would like to ask a question, please put your hands up again, and then I'll give you the opportunity to. So we have another question, which I'm going to throw back to the house. And I think this question is for Olubenga. It says, are there any private initiatives to empower AI in project management in Nigeria? So are there any private initiatives to empower AI in Nigeria as it relates to project management?
I think the way I'll respond to that is to say it's not like a special thing, right? It's what we're doing right here with iCentral, right? And I would then say with Tinism, providing feedback, providing knowledge, with Taufik, also giving feedback and knowledge. That exactly situates the efforts that are currently ongoing. Just the fact that we're having a conversation around AI sustainability and project management tells you clearly that we are already in that space. Now, you then need to go into individual organizations to now see exactly how they are adopting, how they are adapting, and how they are entrenching all of these principles within their own business to become leaner, to become more environmentally very, very friendly, and to ensure that governance sits at the top of what they do. Because I think, like Taufik said, we're going to get to a point, and I think I did mention, where to access plans for even your businesses, for your project, is going to have an intrinsic reliance on your practices within the sustainability framework, and I would dare say by extension, the artificial intelligence adoption as well. So that's the way I would like to respond to that. So, Taufik talked about AI will not replace people, right? But rather, people will replace people. Who are those people replacing the other people? And those are the ones that have jumped on the train. You understand what I'm saying? And are already moving along. Not those guys that are walking behind and wondering what are these people talking about, right? So just an encouragement for you guys to take this as an opportunity to begin to dip in on the goings. There are lots of resources. I watched a video recently. It's called, if you just Google it, you'll see Anthropocene, right? It gives you a historical perspective about the human contribution to the environment over thousands of years, right? And it gets you thinking a little bit more about exactly where we're coming from and why we need to be going where we are going now. I'm going to leave you with this mathematical equation. Basically gives you kind of like a high level thinking around human, the impact of human activity, right, on the environment. And it's called the IPAT, the IP80. So if you Google it, you'll see it. So the I is the environmental impact, the P is the population, the A is affluence, and then the T is technology. Basically, all of this coming together gives you a concept around how population impacts, because currently now we're growing at a rate of, I hear maybe about 5% on a year-on-year basis. It is massively incremental as of today, and the impact is really real. Also the affluence, more folks are becoming richer, more folks are living in cities, and the impact on the environment is tremendous. While technology is that soft element that basically gives you all of the things that we're doing. So technology, we talked about data centers and all of that. So that is where we're going. Everything is going on the cloud. Everything is going on blockchain. So there are dependencies, inputs and outputs that relates to this that impacts clearly how we relate to the environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the contribution. So there's a question here, and I think I'm throwing that to Timisan. It's a scenario. So it says, and this is by Adenuga. A few months ago, we experienced a global IT outage that impacted Windows PCs. Now, imagine a similar global crisis affecting all AI tools. How would we effectively manage timelines, schedules, and other resources that rely on AI in such a scenario? So I'd like to hear from Temi-san, and then Mr. Babaiju, you can also add on to that. Thank you.
Sure. Again, great questions, Corbin. But for me to answer this question, I wouldn't look at it from an AI or sustainability perspective. I would look at it from a risk management perspective. And the way we might address this might be different. But for me, in my earlier days, I've learned a lot to back up everything I do, right? So what happens is if I'm working on this, and then you really, for example, reports, important reports, or important data sets, you really would have to back them up, because if during the annual regulatory audits, that is not an excuse that the AI, like the AI got tripped off, or your primary data source had issues. That doesn't cut it, because having a big bucks are spent on you as a professional to make sure that things are kept in order, right? Long and short. So to answer your question, for me, I'd always back up. So even if I have things on the cloud, right, I'd back it up on the separate cloud if we have the option, or I'd back it up in my drive. But I have at least 3 backups of everything I do, like professional and personal, because personally I don't want to take chances, right? And also it goes back to how dependent are you on all of this. So if, as as Taufik and Benga have mentioned, if you're overly reliant on AI to the point that you can't do any explanation without AI helping you with the context, then I think that you're in big trouble. That's all I'd say. It's an enabler, right? So, for example, if I call you and be like, "Hey, so what's the schedule on this part of it?" You'll be like, "Oh, I'm coming. Then quickly go and put my software." Right? That doesn't really cut it, right? It's an enabler, right? It could help for quick reference, but really, first of all, the knowing in case you are on the spot when this happens. Number 2, always trying to back up your critical documentation and artifact. That's what I'd say. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Vic, do you want to add on to that?
Not much to add. I think Temisan has said it all. Risk management and business continuity. So how much of business continuity are you practicing as an organization? How much risk are you managing? And you also talked about the over dependency on AI or tools. Of course, like I always say, if AI doesn't make you smarter, I don't know what will make it, what to make you smart. AI is an enabler. It's not a primary source. Okay. As human beings, we need to develop superior knowledge and superior skills. So when AI is down, we can still be human. And the difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence is the humanness in us. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your feedback. We have one question, and I think I'm going to throw that to Olubenga. It says, how do we manage the energy need of data centers, the energy need of developing countries, and sustainability at the same time? How do we prioritize these needs? So I'll take it again. How do we manage the energy needs of data centers, developing countries, and sustainability at the same time? And how do we prioritize these needs?
That is, apart from it being an excellent question, it's actually a difficult one as well. Sustainability is a difficult thing. AI is meant to help us. Project management is basically what we do as human beings. So the real tricky part of that question is how do we balance this? And I will tell you, different organizations, different individuals, different countries, different nations will balance it in different ways based on the uniqueness of their strengths and or weaknesses. I must say that. That is really the way to evaluate it. So if I pick two examples, there's a stark reality that will hit you in the face, right? The American economy as of today generates over 1,000 plus gigawatts of electricity on a daily basis, right? While Nigeria generates in the region of between 3.5 and 4 gigawatts of electricity on a daily basis. Now, the moment you hear those numbers, a stark reality hits you. Will Nigeria prioritize sustainability in the context of energy mix over the natural capital that exists in the country? It's almost like a no-brainer question, right? But you still see that I mentioned earlier that Nigeria is still trying to deepen on the AI and on the sustainability space. In fact, we are enacting laws to also enable us to play in this particular space. But however, we see it, we're going to have to see it as a transition. So ultimately, what a transition does is that it shows you almost like a roadmap till you're able to get to the final destination. So the final destination is known to everyone, but the pathway to get there is going to be different across different countries, right? So in Nigeria, one of our major natural capital is fossil fuel. We have a lot of oil and gas resources. In fact, from the energy space in Nigeria, Nigeria is actually a gas province with some oil in it. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, over the past 30 to 40 years, we've been doing what? We've been exploring more of oil than we've been exploring gas. So ultimately, we would have to use our vast gas resources to develop our country. You understand what I'm saying? While we're using revenues attributable from that to then start entrenching AI and sustainability as we go along. So that's the way I would address that question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for all your feedback. Please, if we have questions, let's feel free to drop them on the comment section. At the end of the webinar, we are also going to put a feedback form. Please feel free to post. Just let us know about the webinar, your take home, and also you can let us know about other topics that you would like us to talk in our upcoming webinar. So I think as we take our, shall I say our final summary as we're bringing the webinar to a close. So now I'll just take our, let's say in the next 1 minute, I'm just going to take a summary from all the speakers. What is your final take home to all of those that are joining us today? So you can just do a summary. I'll start with Mr. Babaeju so that you don't come last. And then and then Temisan and Olubenga. Thank you.
Thank you. That is very sustainable. My last take is the fact that or do I say, let me first of all thank the team for putting this together. And the topic is actually very insightful, and the contribution from the expert speakers have been very, very invaluable. And also thanks for giving me the opportunity to be the first person to talk right now, because by the time I'm catching my breath after Temisan and Adesanwo, there'll be nothing else to say. So let me just shoot right now and take the best opportunity for now. I feel the nexus between AI and sustainability is a transformative shift in how we look at projects or we define project success. And it's a wonderful and great time to be alive as project practitioners, irrespective of what you do. Like I said earlier on, well, some people will be asked, they wonder why some of us are so passionate about project management. We don't see it as a profession. It's not our work. It's a way of life. Whether we're doing IT, whether we're doing transformation, whatever we're doing, we just see that the secret weapon with which execution happens is project management. Whether you're delivering a national project or delivering an organizational strategy, the difference is the execution. So, like I said, it's a great time to be alive, but to thrive, if you call yourself a project manager in this era, is you need to be two things I would recommend. You need to commit to lifelong learning, okay, and setting high degree of adaptability, because brace up, your life is about to change, and changes are going to be, hitting you from different corners. We're talking about AI today. We don't know what is going to come up tomorrow. Not only project management profession is at stake. Every profession is at stake. Okay, so you need to continuously learn and adapt to new changes. These are the key factors that will drive whether professional success or project success. Thank you very much. Esther.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Temi-san, final remarks?
Yeah, no, I wish I came first for Taufik, but it's fine. Yeah. So for me, I'd start from, like I said, I'm a lifelong learner. And as Taufik even mentioned, that's one of my tenets. So I'll start from what I learned. What I learned is the questions posed by you, Esther, like very insightful questions. And prior to now, I appreciate sustainability in project management. I appreciate artificial intelligence in project management. But having this conversation already gives me a peek of the beauty, like the marriage between these two, or the triad between the three of them, right? Between sustainability, AI, and project management in the next 5 to 10 years. Conversations had now will always bear the fruits in 5 to 10 years. So I think happy to be part of these conversations. And it's the other piece of advice I'd give everyone here, it would be most of these recordings, most of these our chats are recorded. Always go back. It's not a one and done deal, because what happens is there are always nuggets that you pick every time we watch these videos, right? And also, if your core is in project management, don't forget the tenets of project management. What brought you to the fore of project management, because it's a cradle to great things. It's a cradle to the marriage between AI and sustainability. Is a cradle to where those will take us to. And what happens is those are usually like I'd say what ties it all together, right? And also I'd say not losing the core, losing the essence of being a project manager, right? It helps to figure out, okay, how could, like there's a question going down, it says, how can we have some recommendations for some of the most effective AI tools for project management? Now there's some great answers there. But in my process-driven mind, I'm like, okay, how next can I improve that answer? And I'd say project management, talk about collaboration. We have Miro, we have Mural. It's amazing. A lot of new project managers don't even know what that does. Believe you me, right? We talk about even the normal, the Jira and the likes. They are all AI compliant now in terms of report generation and auto scheduling, right? So when we see answers, we take those answers, we take the learnings, and then we try to read on it for like more process improvements, right? So I think keep up the great questions, keep keep bringing that balance of trust versus questioning, right? And otherwise, I'd say, yeah, it was a great one, and thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you very much. The last, but definitely not the least. Please go ahead. Let's take your final comments.
Now I know what Taufik was going through. Now I know what he was going through. So without going into any repetition, I'll just say that I picked up sustainability barely 6 to 8 months ago, and I can tell you that with my inroad into MIT and deeply on sustainability, trying to be a chief sustainability officer. My wife is beginning to have a second look at me to say, Binga, are you sure that you're not going to be a climate activist? And I'm like, I've been introduced to a different world entirely, right? And it's been very, very exciting, right? But like we say, we are not machines, we're humans, right? And that's why you always notice the balance I always try to bring into it, which is the fact that there are or realities that we face within the Nigerian and the African space. We must recognize those realities. We must balance them with our need to move into the sustainability space. I take solace and comfort in the fact that the entire African continent is not contributing more than 3% to the global warming effect across the entire world. So our impact has been substantially very, very limited, right? And to that extent, we will still need to try and do better to get us to that finishing line. The day this topic was muted by the iCentral team, it got me really, really thinking. It got me really moving into the AI space as well to be able to understand the integration that exists. And I saw that it was a seamless bond, it was a seamless marriage, right? And I thank the iCentral team immensely for being able to bring this to the forefront of discourse across the globe. In the final words, project management is sitting at the top because this speaks to all of the processes, the materials, and how we bring everything together to drive a global commerce, to drive global economy. Sustainability, I would say, sits at the second level, right? Because basically it's thinking about the future. It's future proofing so that we as humans can continue to habit the earth. There's a saying in the sustainability world that there is no planet B. This is the only planet that we have. There's nothing like a planet B right now, right? And while artificial intelligence is now almost like an umbrella, right? Sitting right around both project management and sustainability, ensuring that we're able to take more proactive decisions, we're able to take more faster decisions, more accurate decisions, and we're able to use those tools to be able to ease our lives, right? And make sure that we're doing things better. So I will tell you for free that the concept and the principles around sustainability in terms of material flow analysis and the life cycle analysis are deep. They are massively deep, right? And you will not be able to hit the crux of it if you are unable to bring in tools like AI to support and help you to be able to demystify it, you'll be shocked that the iteration for making pasta or to making noodles, right? From an input to an output perspective, right? On sustainability spectrum can take you close to 100,000 iterations. You will be amazed how much goes into it and how much comes out of it. So AI, like I said, is going to be the umbrella that demystifies project management and demystifies sustainability. And with that marriage, I'm telling you, we're going to be able to do amazing things. So great panel. Timisa, it's a pleasure meeting you. Taufik Babaji, great conversation. And I want to thank the iCentral team. Amazing work you guys do at the back end. Esther, Lolo, and your entire team. I think it has been amazing. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Sure.
All right. Thank you so much for all our feedback and our comments, and for our I think more than 100 delegates that have just stayed glued to us all through this webinar. So this webinar is brought to us by iCentral, and it is called Transform by iCentral. It's our monthly webinar series where we discuss different topics, new trend, and just get to hear from experts in the industry. So what do we do at iCentral? iCentral is a business and technology solutions company delivering transformation to improve people and organizational performance. And the core of what we do is really transformation, and that also is showcased in our solutions. So the 4 areas of our services is technology solutions, project management, business consulting, and learning and development. We have a learning and development unit called iCentral Learning, where we work with organizations to also build and develop their capacity. So to know more about us, we've worked with clients in the public, private, and development sector in and outside of Nigeria to help in delivering transformation and also creating value. So please feel free to follow us on all our social media platforms at iCentral, and also follow us on our learning unit at iCentral Learning, and we'll bring more of this as well. So we also have a monthly newsletter called the iCentricity. We will share this as well in the email so that you can follow us as well and see what we have available for you. So thank you so much to everyone for joining us. For those that are PMI members, we are going to share, we're going to send in a thank you email after this, and then we will have the PDU where you can use that to be able to activate your PDU for attending this webinar. So once again, to all our esteemed speakers, Mr. Olubenga Adesanwo, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. Mr. Timisan, thank you so much for your time. Mr. Taufik, thank you so much for always being available to join us. And to everybody that has joined us today, thank you so much. Till we see you next time. I think maybe we should take a group picture for those that can put on their camera. It would be nice for us to take a group picture. So for all the attendees, if you can, please put on your camera so that we can take some shots. We still have 9 minutes to the end of our webinar. Oh, I see a lot of people. I can see Princess Sophia, Temidayo, Tunde, Louisa. I don't think I can call all the names, but there are just a lot of us. So for those that can put on their camera, please do. If not, then we, the speakers and the hosts, will just take the pictures on your behalf. So, oh, hi, Louisa. Thank you so much for putting on your camera. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. You can actually unmute and say hello if you want to. Please go ahead. Hi, Louisa. Please feel free to unmute your camera and say hello. Tell us where you're joining from. I think her camera is muted. Okay, so thank you for putting on your camera. So I think we can take some pictures. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then cheese. So let's take a picture. 1, 2, a smile, cheese. Oh, my camera is not on. Can you imagine? Terrible. Okay, so let's do that again. All right, so a smile. I'm sure my team at the back are doing an excellent job ensuring that these pictures are taken. So 1, 2, 3, just say cheese and smile. Okay, wonderful. So let's take another one, a different shot. All right. So thank you so much once again. So we see you next time. Stay tuned. We have more in store for you for our next edition of Transform by iCentra webinar series. And please feel free to follow us on all social media platforms at iCentra and at iCentra Learning, and also our website, www.icentra.com. Thank you so much. Till we see you next time. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
By iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals. Get ready to transform with iCentra. Stay tuned for updates, exciting topics, and renowned guest speakers. Keep an eye on all our social media pages for more details. Your transformation journey continues here. Transform by iCentra. Join us for a transformative journey of learning, growth, and innovation. Explore cutting-edge business trends, gain insights from industry leaders, and network with global professionals.